영어 듣기 레벨 측정을 할 겁니다. 리틀팍스 1단계에서 2단계, 3단계, 9단계까지 측정을 하는데요. 한번 자막 없이 한 번 들었을 때 80% 이상 되는 것이 확인되면 다음 단계로 나가면 됩니다. 내가 1단계, 2단계, 3단계에서 80%면은 3단계라고 하면 되고 4단계가 통과되면 4단계 이런 식으로 측정을 하는 것입니다.
One day, Rex was in the park. He saw other dinosaurs.
Hi!
Rex said.
Help!
A dinosaur cried.
A T-Rex!
The other one screamed. They ran away.
Cora was an octopus. She loved living in Rainbow Reef. She had a nice den. She had many friends. Cora always tried to protect her friends. But it was hard sometimes. Hungry sharks hunted for food. Garbage floated in the water. Humans caught crabs and fish with nets. Cora sighed.
I wish I could keep everyone safe forever.
Four fairies were moving into a secret grove. They were new birthday fairies.
Oh!
Their job was to grant children's birthday wishes.
I'm unpacked!
Sprite said.
Wow!
Bumble said.
You're fast! I'm going to make Fairy Grove look pretty.
Feather said. She hung wind chimes from a branch. Then she wrapped ribbons around a tree.
Once upon a time, there lived a boy named Hong Gildong. He was the son of Lord Hong, a rich and powerful official. One day, while Gildong was reading, he heard servants whispering about him.
Why does that boy bother reading so much?
One servant said.
His father is a noble, but his late mother was a servant. That makes him low-born.
Yes,
Another said.
he can never become a high official like his father. The law of the land prevents it.
He's even stronger than a grown man,
The first servant said.
but he can't become a military leader either.
On a golden summer afternoon, Alice sat by the river. Her older sister Charlotte sat beside her, happily reading a book. Feeling bored, Alice glanced at her sister's book.
What's the point of a book without pictures?
Alice asked. Charlotte was too busy reading to reply. Alice gave a tired sigh and thought about making a daisy chain. However, that would require getting up to pick the daisies. And the hot day was making Alice feel very tired and lazy. Suddenly, a rabbit ran past the two girls. He was white and wore a colorful vest.
Oh dear,
He cried.
I'm going to be late.
Long, long ago, two boys were born on the same day in the same city. Tom Canty was born to a poor family who couldn't afford another child. Prince Edward was born to a royal family who welcomed the new heir to the throne. A dozen years later, both boys lived by the river. While Edward lived in a magnificent palace, Tom lived in a shabby room in a poor neighborhood. While Edward's father was King Henry, Tom's father was John Canty, a thief. John often made Tom and his sister Nancy beg for money.
Mrs. Rachel Lynde lived on the main road in Avonlea, a town on Prince Edward Island off the coast of Canada. Anybody who was coming to or leaving Avonlea had to use the main road and pass by the Lynde's house. Mrs. Lynde was always watching from her kitchen window. Mrs. Lynde sat at her window one afternoon in early June. At 3:30, Matthew Cuthbert was driving his buggy down the road. He wore his best suit. Matthew should be planting turnip seeds now, like Mr. Lynde, thought Mrs. Lynde.
One winter evening, Monsieur Debienne and Monsieur Poligny, the managers of the Paris Opera House, were hosting a gala performance to celebrate their retirement. Mademoiselle Sorelli, one of the ballerinas, was in her dressing room, rehearsing her speech in their honor. Suddenly, 4 young dancers rushed in, shrieking.
What are you doing here?
Sorelli asked, annoyed at the interruption.
It's the Phantom of the Opera!
Sis.
My father's family name was Pirrup, and my own first name was Philip. But all my young tongue could say of these names was Pip. So that is what I called myself, Pip. I never saw my father or mother or any pictures of them, for they lived before the days of photographs. I lived with my sister, who was more than 20 years older than I. My first vivid impression of things was gained one memorable late afternoon in the churchyard. At that time I understood that my father and mother were dead, as were my 5 little brothers. Alone in this bleak place overgrown with nettles, I shivered with fear and began to cry.